I genuinely cannot get my head around this. The BBC, your publicly funded, supposedly impartial, holier-than-thou national broadcaster, has now decided that illegal migrants should be invited onto Question Time to lecture elected British politicians about border security.
Well, actually, we have some men in the audience.
OK, Fiona, what's it going to be? A disenfranchised voter, maybe a girl or woman who's been assaulted by an illegal migrant?
So you came over from Afghanistan on a small boat in the last 4 or 5 years, I think.
Yes, I come from Afghanistan.
OK, hard lines of questioning there.
Was the UK where you wanted to claim asylum, and did you try and claim asylum in other countries on the way?
No questioning about why he is actually there, just about how all the EU countries failed him.
My first interview was in Turkey, and the second one in Macedonia, in Serbia, in Romania.
Hang on, those aren't exactly safe countries. Serbia's hard line, Turkey's a mess, Macedonia isn't exactly Disneyland. I wonder why they refused his asylum.
So you applied for asylum in all those countries, what, and they all turned you down?
These countries just reject me, and they didn't accept me.
OK, great. So the UK is essentially a waste paper basket for asylum claims?
Over 170,000 people have arrived in this country illegally since 2018. Most of that work was done by the Tories, sadly, and that is more people than arrived on the beaches of Normandy on D-Day. I have used the word invasion before, and people might object to that term, but the dictionary definition of an invasion is an unwanted incursion into a space of land.
According to Reform's Zia Youssef, and this is his quote, the BBC stacked the audience with small boat migrants. And he said it was like getting convicted burglars to debate law and order, and he's right.
You came over on a small boat. Am I right about that?
Yeah.
What's your response to what you're hearing? Because obviously everyone is talking about people like you.
I came here illegally, but I deserve to stay. The BBC insists that this man is an asylum seeker, except he literally said on air that he came here illegally. And the BBC platformed it like some sort of badge of honour. Now, look, I must say that for an immigration special, it's not completely out of bounds to have an asylum seeker in the audience, or a couple, I guess, as the BBC suggested. They are at the core of this mess. However, they claim that they informed Youssef beforehand. Now, he claims that he was told 10 minutes before going on air. To place multiple in the audience is not a fair representation of the British public.
It would give ordinary people one less court, less court to protect their rights. Even for weekend checks and the government power risk on peace settlement in Northern Ireland and damage our security cooperation.
This so-called asylum seeker literally reads off some sort of script. How do we know who briefed him? Nigel had this response.
Both of those individuals should not even be in the United Kingdom. They've broken in illegally. They should have been deported. Yet they've been given a platform on the BBC in an effort to get the great British public to sympathise with them. And frankly, with an earpiece and a phone, the whole thing was a complete, absolute set-up job.
But oh, the lunacy continues, because every time you ask a basic reasonable question like, should Britain decide who comes into Britain? You get lectured by the same out-of-touch boob enlargers.
1 in 5 care workers are foreign nationals. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't particularly want to wipe someone's bum, and I'm very grateful for the people who do this work.
Yes. A Green Party politician literally said migrants are needed because they wipe people's bums. Tell me again who's the one who's being dehumanizing. It certainly reminded me of this.
If you kick every Latino out of this country, then who is going to be cleaning your toilet, Donald Trump?
Ooh, the mask has slipped there. That's the real worldview behind all the compassion talk. They don't see migrants as equals. They see them as some sort of slave labour class, it seems. The BBC had the opportunity to invite people like Hillingdon resident James, who claims his daughter was felt up by an asylum seeker.
Grabbed by her skirt as she was getting off the bus, and then as she protruded backwards, he then stuck his hand up her skirt.
Or how about this 12-year-old girl who is too scared to go to school?
Why are you scared?
Because I'm scared to go out, I'm scared to walk to school, because I'm scared if anything's going to happen to me. Because being a white girl is really scary.
I I mean, just this week, we had revealed to us that 2 teenage asylum seekers abducted and raped a 15-year-old girl just months after they arrived in Britain. Do you remember what Lord Justice Bean said when he was defending the Home Office in the Epping Asylum Hotel case? He said, the rights of the asylum seekers trump the rights of the British people.
And what will that mean for our relationship
look at
with
your mayor
them?
of London. He's a disaster. He's a disaster. He's got a totally different ideology of what he's supposed to have. And he gets elected because so many people have come in and they vote for him now because, you know, it's like, it's one of those things. But I hate what's happened to London.
Donald Trump is someone who has reportedly cut illegal immigration down 86%, almost immediately when he got into office. When will Britain see an end to this?